My name is Dean Garaffa. I'm the co-founder of Atomic Aquatics. So in a rollout order of products, there was no strategy. It was, we were going to make the world's best regulator, and that regulator was going to be our first entry into the market. Entry into the dive market was the all-titanium T1 and B1 regulator. The T1 was an all-titanium construction. Our first and initial thought was every piece of the regulator will be titanium, whether it's a clip, a spring, a washer, anything, not just a machine part. It was well received. There was definitely a marketplace. In a marketplace that was a $500 retail marketplace, our T1 came in at $1,500, so it was much more expensive. But there was a place in the market for a premium product. So at Atomic Aquatics, we have sort of a platform design. Essentially, we don't believe in selling performance. You should buy a regulator that will perform the same at any depth. Our goal is to manufacture a regulator that's reliable and safe and high performance. We do realize that there are different price points in the market. So we base our selling strategy based on the amount of exotic metals that go into each and every regulator. The beauty of Atomic Aquatics internal parts is beautiful. There's no other way to describe it. As you're walking through the production department and you see these trays of machined and polished titanium or stainless steel component parts that are getting ready to be put into regulators. I would often sometimes take my camera out and take a picture of it from different angles, and the way the light would hit, they're just absolutely like gem-like quality parts. And I thought, wow, it's just such a shame that these things are going inside. But I guess there is another benefit to that, is that the service technicians that work on Atomic Aquatics regulators would call me from time to time, and they would tell me, you know, we've taken apart a regulator that's 15 years old, and we just wanted to tell you that this thing looks gorgeous inside. And I thought, there's got to be some message in there that we can communicate to the diver who thinks about it for a while and is just like, what's inside of this? Is it all built correctly? Is this thing safe? But it's not only safe, there's like a hidden beauty inside of it. And really that beauty comes from the luster and the machine quality of the finishes that we put on all of our component parts. So if you look at how the 3 or 4 things work together with an atomic regulator from the very beginning, from the early days till to modern days, the seat-saving orifice prevents the seat from being damaged. The titanium metal components in that second stage don't rust or corrode. So now you have a second stage that's essentially service-free for a long period of time. Normally, if you buy a dive regulator, you have to have it serviced every year. Atomic was the first company to introduce the 2-year, 300 dive service interval. This was something revolutionary in the dive industry. We have the most courageous warranty in diving. We can allow our customers to go 2 years, 300 dives without having a service. And the thing that's nice about it is they have a lifetime warranty on their metal parts, and it's not contingent on proving to us that you had your regulators serviced every 2 years. This was completely different than any of the other manufacturers because they didn't have the seat-saving orifice, their regulators would leak, their regulators were made out of brass, you would take them apart, the internals would be corroded. So there was a no-win for them and a win-win for us because we had the features and the materials. The diver controlled Venturi Assist by coming out with the AFC on the atomic regulator, which is the automatic flow control, which does nearly the same thing as the diver controlled Venturi switch, but it does it automatically underwater. So if you can imagine back, if you had a standard car and you had to shift the gears to do the things that you wanted to do, then suddenly along comes an automatic version of that that uses underwater pressure to help compensate for those needs. Really, the two most important patents that we have breaking out the Atomic brand was the seat-saving orifice and the AFC, automatic flow control. Those two patents were very unique in our industry and really changed the dynamics in the regulator game. The seat-saving orifice is brilliant because before the seat-saving orifice, every diver that used a scuba regulator, once they put it out into storage or they weren't using it, the regulator seats that were in these second stages took a permanent set, and the diver would go diving again, and the regulator would leak or have some issue. So the seat-saving orifice was really one of our most important features that we came out with, a patented feature. It really changed the industry, along with the AFC and the automatic flow control, which revolutionized the way breathing performance would work at depth. So the way the seat-saving orifice works is in most other regulators, because we have the patent on it, there's a small orifice with a sharp edge that seats against a poppet seat, which is a rubber or silicone seal. That's what shuts off the air in the second stage. The seat-saving orifice works in a way that's really brilliant. After the regulator is depressurized, the orifice moves back away from the seat and preserves the seat's life. So you could take an atomic regulator that was built 25 years ago, pressurize it, and the performance would be exactly the same as what you just left it. When we're talking about a 2-year 300 dive service interval or a 3-year 300 dive service interval, which we have in our T series, are all titanium components. We talked about the second stage being durable and could go the distance because of the seat-saving orifice. Well, what about the first stage? The first stage in the atomic regulator has what we call the jet seat first stage. And this is a very, very high technology sealing surface that we have. This is a very durable seat with a properly designed end detail that won't damage the seat for too many dives. We can go 300 dives without a major service. So imagine that you buy your regulator, you go diving, you don't use it for a year, you don't need to have it serviced. Maybe you don't use it for that second year, but then you're going to go diving. You can go diving with the atomic regulator without having it serviced. You might take it in and have it checked out just to make sure that it was stored properly. But the 3-year 300 dive service interval is fantastic for a regulator. It's one of the most important features of having a jet seat and a seat-saving orifice and a titanium regulator body construction. The Comfort Swivel is one of my patents that I just thought of. This is something that we need in the industry. I would often see our regulators, this was something that was developed about 7 or 8 years into Atomic, in underwater photography with the regulators sitting askew in the diver's mouth. And it always infuriated. There was our cover, there was our product with the regulator twisted in the mouth of the diver. So I started experimenting around with different swivel designs. There was a swivel on the market that worked very strangely. I just looked at ball swivels, and then I just got that aha moment. And I went into the machine shop, machined a few pieces myself, took them out in the water, hose clamped everything together, and it worked the first time. It was really, really cool. And then we went back and built prototypes. Then we made them out of titanium. And the Comfort Swivel was an immediate hit in the world. It was patented. It was unique. It was different. It was a premium feature on our titanium regulators. So it's been a very big, important part of the success of the brand. So the reference to Ferrari, we've never said that. Magazines said that, and they said Rolls-Royce. They said, Cadillac. They said Ferrari. But again, I think this is because of brands and marketing position. In the diving industry, there was no Ferrari to take that moniker or that mantle in that position. So in reference to our fins or or our regulators. I've seen Ferrari and Rolls-Royce used many, many times over. Luxury market, you know, there's always a brand that is at the very, very top of that hierarchy. And Atomic is that brand for scuba diving.